My girlfriend broke up with me saying I need to be more social and make friends before I can be a good partner to anyone, so I moved across the country for my dream job, but 6 months later she showed up at my door saying, I'm ready to commit now because distance doesn't matter when it's real love, and I laughed before introducing her to my new fiancé who was cooking dinner in our kitchen. I'm Marcus, 26, and when Jess dumped me 6 months ago, she said I was emotionally unavailable and socially stunted. Her exact words, you hide behind your work and can't form real connections. I need someone who actually has friends and knows how to be vulnerable. This happened right after I got accepted to my dream veterinary residency in Denver. We'd been together 2 years, and I thought we were solid. I was planning to propose that Christmas, even had the ring picked out. The breakup destroyed me. I spent 3 days eating cereal in bed, questioning everything. Was I really that disconnected? Maybe she was right. Maybe I was just using her as a placeholder while focusing on my career. But I'd committed to the residency, so I packed up and drove to Denver with just my clothes, textbooks, and a broken heart. If I was going to be miserable, at least I'd do something I loved. The animal hospital was this busy emergency clinic downtown. Dr. Peterson put me on 12-hour shifts immediately. I was so exhausted learning new procedures that I barely thought about Jess. Something unexpected happened, though. My colleague Mike kept inviting me to trivia night at this dive bar. I made excuses, too tired, had studying. But Mike was persistent, and I finally gave in just to shut him up. Trivia night was actually fun. Mike's team called themselves the Possum 4 and competed against other medical professionals. I was weirdly good at animal facts, making me valuable. For the first time in months, I was laughing and genuinely enjoying people's company. Mike introduced me to his hiking group, outdoorsy medical people doing weekend trails around Colorado. I'd always loved nature, but never had anyone to explore with. Suddenly, I was spending Saturdays climbing mountains and having real conversations with people who weren't Jess. Then I started volunteering at the city animal shelter on days off. They needed someone with medical training for health assessments. That's where I met Diana. She was the shelter coordinator, this amazing woman who knew every single animal's personality and history. She'd work late with difficult rescue cases, and I started staying to help with medical checkups. We'd talk for hours about each animal's progress and recovery stories. Diana had this gift for seeing potential in every broken creature. She was patient, compassionate, incredibly smart about animal behavior. 3 months later, we went on our first date to a dog-friendly brewery where half our shelter animals had been adopted. We spent the evening pointing out our kids and discussing dreams of opening our own rescue-focused practice. With Diana, conversation felt effortless. We could talk about work, family, random thoughts. Everything flowed naturally. I'd never experienced that easy connection, even with Jess. Diana actually listened when I talked about cases. Last month, I proposed at the same dog park where we had our first date. I brought 3 shelter dogs, each wearing part of the message on their collars. Diana cried and said yes before I could even kneel. We moved in together 2 weeks ago into this cute apartment walking distance from both the hospital and shelter. Diana cooks most nights since my schedule's insane, and I help with adoption paperwork and medical evaluations. Yesterday, coming home from a brutal shift, I saw someone on our apartment steps. As I got closer, I realized it was Jess with 2 suitcases and this hopeful expression. Surprise, she said. I flew here from Portland. I've been thinking about us non-stop, and I made a huge mistake. I stared, completely shocked. Jess, what are you doing here? I've been in therapy and learned so much about myself. I was wrong to break up with you. Distance doesn't matter when it's real love, right? Before I could respond, Diana appeared wearing my veterinary hoodie, holding our foster puppy Charlie, a 3-legged golden retriever we'd been rehabilitating. Hey babe, dinner's ready. Who's your friend? Jess's face went through pure shock, confusion, then realization she'd made a very long trip for nothing. Diana, this is Jess, my ex from Portland, I said, arm around Diana. Jess, meet Diana, my fiancé, the one who said I'd never connect with people, I continued. Turns out I just needed the right people. Diana smiled at Charlie, then Jess. Well, he's great with both dogs and humans now. We're getting married in spring. Jess grabbed her suitcases and called an Uber without another word.